Sa domain number 3, the diversity of learners. So the DOL domain emphasizes the ideal that teachers can facilitate the learning process even with diverse, recognizing and respecting individual differences, and by using knowledge about their differences to designs of learning activities to ensure that all learners can attain the desired learning goals. So, sa strands of desired teaching performance, first, the teachers is familiar with learners' background knowledge and experiences. So, sa indicators naman, the teacher uses information on the learning styles and needs of the learners to design and select learning experiences. The next is the establishes goals that define appropriate expectations for all learners, paces lessons appropriate to need and or abilities of the learners, provides differentiated activities for learners, initiates other learning approaches for learners whose needs have not been met by usual approaches, and shows sensitivity to multicultural background of the learners. So, sa number 2, the teacher demonstrate concern for holistic development of learners, sets clear, challenging, and achievable expectations on the holistic development of all learners, identifies learning gaps, and takes actions to enable learners to catch up, employs integrative and interactive as strategies for meaningful and holistic development of learners, is sensitive to unusual behavior of learners and takes appropriate action and provides opportunities to enhance learners' growth in all aspects. So, sa number 3, domain number 3, diversity of learners. No? So, not all students are the same. No? 'Di ba? Merong mga fast learners and slow learners, and meron na din naman yung mga average or neutral, 'di ba? So, as a teacher, you need to understand this and adjust kung paano ka magturo para yung lahat ay matuto. So, and also, they should respect differences like culture, abilities, and interests. So, yun, doon nakakapaloob sa diversity of learners. So, yun. So, next, domain number 4 is the curriculum. The curriculum domain refers to all elements of the teaching learning process that work in the convergence to help students understand the curricular goals and objectives and to attain high standards of learning defined in the curriculum. So these elements include the teacher's knowledge of subject matter and the learning process, teaching learning approaches and activities, instructional materials and learning resources. Okay, so sa strands niya, so there are the teacher's mastery of the subject, sa indicators, the teachers delivers accurate and updated current knowledge using appropriate methodologies, approaches, and strategies, integrates language, literacy, and quantitative skill development and values in his or her subject's area, explain learning goals, instructional procedures, and content clearly and accurately to learners, links the current content with past and future lessons, align lessons objectives with the teaching methods, learning activities, and instructional materials or resources appropriate to learners, create situations that encourage learners to use high-order thinking skills, engages and sustain learners' interest in the subject by making content meaningful and relevant to them, integrates relevant scholarly works and ideas to enrich the lesson as needed, and integrates content of subject area with other disciplines. So, yung sa number 2 naman, the teacher communicates clear learning goals for the lessons that are appropriate for learners. Such appropriate learning goals makes the learner understands the learning goals and link the goals set with the expectations for every learner. Yung 3, the teacher makes good use of allotted instructional time. Okay, so establishes routines and procedures to maximize instructional time and plans lessons to fit within available instructional time. 4, the teacher selects teaching method, learning activities, and instructional materials or resources appropriate to learners and aligned to objectives of the lessons. Translates learning competencies to instructional objectives, selects, prepares, and utilizes instructional materials appropriate to the learners and to the learning objectives. Provides activities and uses materials which fit to the learner's learning styles, goals, and culture. Uses a variety of teaching approaches and techniques appropriate to the subject matter and the learners. Utilizes information derived from assessment to improve teaching and learning. And lastly, provides activities and uses materials which involve students and in meaningful learning. So, sa domain number 4, yung curriculum, no? Yung curriculum is like guidebook para sa mga students na kailangan matuto. So, as a teacher, kailangan alam mo yung subject na ituturo mo and also maging creative din para ma-explain ng maayos yung topic para naman yung mga students ay maintindihan at pa-enjoy yung lesson. So, nagkakaroon ng engagement, no? Yung ganon. So, doon yun sa curriculum. Okay. So, next, planning, assessing, and reporting. So, these domains refer to the alignment of assessment and planning activities. In particular, the PR focuses on the first use of assessment data to plan and revise teaching learning plans. Second, integration of assessment procedures in the plan and implementations of teaching learning activities. And 3, reporting of the learner's actual achievement and behavior. So, yung strands niya of the teaching performance is, yung first is, the teacher communicates promptly and clearly the learner's progress to parents, superiors, and to learn themselves. Conducts regular meetings with learners and parents to report learning progress and involves parents in school activities that promote learning. Yung second is the teacher develops and uses a variety of appropriate assessment strategies to monitor and evaluate learning. So, prepares formative and summative tests, employs non-traditional assessment techniques, interprets and uses assessment results to improve teaching and learning, and identifies teaching learning difficulties and their possible causes to address gaps. So, number 3, the teacher monitors regularly, provides feedback on learners' understanding of content. So, provides timely and accurate feedback to learners to encourage them to reflect on and monitor their own learning growth, and keeps accurate records for grades with performance levels of learners. So, sa number 5, domain number 5, yung planning, assessing, and reporting. So, teachers plan their lessons carefully. So, check if students understands the lessons through tests, activities, or quizzes, and then give feedback on how students are going. So, yon, planning, assessing, and reporting. Number 6, the domain number 6 is community linkages. So, the CL domain refers to the idea that classroom activities are meaningfully linked to the experiences and aspirations of the learners in their homes and communities. Thus, this domain focuses on teachers' efforts directed on strengthening the links between school and communities to help in the attainment of the curricular goals. So, the strands, the teacher establishes learning environments that respond to the aspirations of the community. Involves community in sharing accountability for the learner's achievement. Use community human and materials resources to support learning. Use the community as a laboratory for learning. Participates in community activities that promote learning. And uses community networks to publicize schools' events and achievements. So, sa number 6, yung domain number 6, community linkages. So, teachers should connect what you learn in school to real life and involve your family and community in your education. So, nakakatulong to para makita ng students kung paano nila mai-apply yung natutunan nila sa labas or outside the classroom. Yan. And also yung sa community linkages, dito pumapasok yung PTA ng mga parents. So yan. And lastly, the domain number 7 is personal growth and professional development PGDP. So the PGDP domain emphasizes the ideal that teachers value having a high personal regard for the teaching profession, concern for professional development, and continuous improvement as teachers. So, yung strands niya is, the teachers takes pride in the nobility of teaching as a profession. So, the teacher maintains stature and behavior that upholds the dignity of teaching, allocates time for personal and professional development through participations in education seminars and workshops, enrollment in short-term courses and postgraduate programs, reading regular educational materials regularly, and engaging in educational research, manifest personal qualities such as enthusiasm, flexibility, and caring, and articulates and demonstrates one's personal philosophy of teaching. So second, the teacher builds professional link with colleagues to enrich teaching practice. So participates actively in professional teachers organizations and keeps abreast with recent developments in education. And third, the teacher reflects on the extent of the attainment of the student learning goals, reflects on the quality of his or her own teaching, receive favorable rating from students, peers, and superiors. So, accepts personal accountability for learners' achievement and uses self-evaluation to recognize correct weaknesses. Okay, sa domain number 7, no, so personal growth and professional development, PGDP. So, teachers, no, should never stop learning. They should attend seminars, read books, workshops, and find ways to improve their teaching skills so they can help students better. Okay, so yun yung dummy number 7. So, that would be all. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.